So it's been a long day for me. I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning. But thanks very much, Maggie, for always inviting me. I'm always honored to speak for HealthTO. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is, so I'm probably one of the earliest early founders of a health tech company in the Toronto scene. And so I've seen many, many companies who have done a lot of startups. And so what I'd like to do today is actually state a hope and a wish for the industry, okay? So you know him. And he said once that I think the biggest innovations of the 21st century will be at the intersection of biology and technology, and the new era is beginning. So I often wonder if he's alive today, if he was alive today, if he'll be happy with the health kit of Apple. Because I don't think it really represents like what truly Steve Jobs had in terms of his vision. So we're all here today. There are thousands of digital health companies that have already been launched, and many are still being, established and founded. The good thing is that we are here, talking about and also experiencing what we call as the digital health revolution. And so if you look at the different applications or streams of applications in the digital health revolution, you talk about digital, you talk about genomics revolution. I was at a panel earlier on precision medicine. We talk about wireless sensors, genomics, social networking, imaging, internet, data. We're in the business of patient behavior data, health systems. So it's all about systems, right? And sometimes you wonder, what are we going to get out of this? Because in terms of health, we're hoping that the end point will be that we are all going to contribute to improving the health outcomes of patients. And we're also hoping that this new digital health revolution is not going to be something like this. Because for all the decades of work and trillions of dollars poured into the development of EHRs and EMRs, that I found this quite funny. And it says, another advantage of switching to an EHR is that it will make your indecipherable handwriting obsolete. And so what I'd like to state is my hope that all of the efforts and the talent and the innovation that we're doing will really actually improve the life of patients. So for all of us who's actually investing a lot of our time and effort, we don't want to end up like zombies. We don't want to fail, right? And so it says why 98% of the digital health startups are zombies and what they can do about it. And there's one thing that I'd like to share with you because it's the passion of our company. And it's really to think about who we're doing all of this for. And it's all for the patients. And one of the things that we realize is that, whether you're a physician, you're a scientist, you are a pharmacist, sometimes we get caught into the system. Sometimes we get caught into the solution, the technology. And we often forget the patient. Because for the patient, it's actually more than just being ill. Patients are humans, and we are people. We think about the financial stress. We're parents, we're family members, we have work. And oftentimes we forget that as we innovate in healthcare, we need to really think about this patient as the end point of all the innovation that we're doing. So we need a new type of orientation. What type of orientation are we looking at? That we do not just end at looking at healthcare innovation in terms of the disease. It's not just about the disease, it's not just about the drug, it's not just about the gene, but it's actually thinking about the patient as a person. So with all of the wearables, devices, systems, products, all the technological healthcare innovation that we're doing, our hope in our company is actually we all come together. And I know that sometimes when we are innovating, we want to think only of our solution in isolation. But I think what we need to do is to connect our solutions and always think about the patient who we need to improve our lives. So that's the hope that I'd like to share with everybody today. So, you have any questions? Yes.
I have my own medical device company, and I actually have to drop out of markets. digital connected world, how does it work? Like, are you finding the regulations killing you? Because I'm actually.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Because I'm actually approved in Canada. In a couple of years, I'm going to actually have to drop out of Canada. I've already had to drop out of Europe because the regulatory environment has come to the point where small companies, they treat everybody as one-size-fits-all solutions for everything. And in the end, you can't do it anymore. Even though I'm the only one in the world that actually makes this product, I'm actually having to pull out of markets because I can't afford it anymore. So I don't know how you find it in your field. Can you just change your product and then have to get it reapproved again, or how does it go?
So what I'm hearing from you is you had you had a product.
I still have it.
You still have it, and you're asking like how to connect with. I think just as an entrepreneur, you may want to almost like restart your company and be participate in the scene. And I'm sure that you will find other companies who would want to connect. Like we have a platform that connects with almost like 400 wearables and smart devices.
Yeah,
so
it's not a question of connecting. It's a question of they keep moving the goalposts. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like you're approved one day, and then next year they move the goalposts. So you can no
you're
longer
approved one day, and then the next day you are sorry.
Basically, because like in Europe, I mean, I don't know if anybody's got time for a story, but basically somebody in France was building breast implants, and they had two production lines. One was putting industrial silicone in the implants, and another, and he finally got caught. So then what happened is they changed the rules in Europe that now you have surprise inspections. So now one day, every 3 years, on a 3-year cycle, somebody comes knocking at your door, and if you're not there, I run a small company, they still charge you $7,000 to knock on your door. So the problem is, if you're a small company, you can no longer exist. So innovation is getting killed because you can't keep up with the regulations. And I know in the digital world.
I understand you as an entrepreneur. You have this vision, you innovated, but what I'm hearing from you is definitely you need capital and you need supporters who will enable you to continue the innovation that you've built. Well, so it's hard to.
No, I mean the problem is really in niche markets.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna. You don't have capital because nobody's gonna come. But I probably overdid my time. But it's just a constant problem that if you have a small company, you have a niche market product, you can no longer play in the world. I mean, I'm global in a sense. And anyway, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.